Hi everybody, Nancy Wakely here again in my office, and today I want to talk about something that I was asked recently. What are some frustrations you have with your writing? And there's a lot of them, but there's three that are at the top of the list. And I think the first one is the sheer magnitude of what you're trying to attempt to do. Whether it's 50 pages or 500 pages, you've got to look at the whole picture and you realize that there's a lot to go along with what you're trying to write. In other words, you have an idea in your head, maybe in little bits and pieces, little scenes or little bits of dialogue that you're trying to write to wrap this whole story around. You have a little bit of sense of a setting, and you're trying to wrap your head around that. And just to put it all together is a huge, huge deal. So you need to really think about that long term. And that's what I find frustrating is you think it's going to be pretty simple. In the end, it ends up not being. And so the second one kind of relates to that. I call it the muddy middle. It's when you get your character from point A to point B in the story, and you know where you want them at the end at point C, but how do you get them from point B to point C? And in those situations, that kind of relates to the magnitude of the whole thing, what you're trying to do. I suggest just writing down some of those scenes in your head. Make yourself sit down and write what some of those scenes in between are going to be. And you might find it helpful. Maybe you'll write a synopsis of the whole story, just in written form. And you can get a picture then, maybe let your mind wander a little bit and work through those tough parts, because there's always a muddy middle that you have to get through. And the third one is really the love-hate relationship that you have with your words. I found that happening so many times. I look at the what I've written one day and I love it, and then the next day I don't think it's very good at all. It's really something I want to throw in the trash. But I would caution you against doing that. There's something about what you've written that's good. There's some good in it somehow, somewhere, and just take a look at it, take a more critical eye to it, and see what you can do with it. You might use it, you might not. But there is this, it's a phenomenon that is very strange, and I think you've all experienced that too. So let me know in the comments what is frustrating to you. What is the stumbling block that you come up against, not just writer's block, but just a stumbling block that is a frustration to you, and how do you get through it? So I hope to hear from you, and I'll talk to you again soon.